Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the channel. This is Red Dissection. I'm breaking down Manchester United 3-0 victory against West Ham United at Old Trafford. After the thrilling 4-3 victory away at Wolves, United went into this match with the right frame of mind. They wanted to attack, but I have to say the West Ham controlled most of the match, especially the first 70 minutes. United got the first goal with some ingenuity from Rasmus Hojlund, who dummied on his left foot and then struck the ball well with his right, and United went 1-0 up. But they never had control of the match. I thought West Ham had all the ball. They had most of the chances. They had like 22 shots in total, and they weren't clinical. Obviously, Emerson missed the biggest chance for them, and then it was down to us to capitalize on counter-attacks that we had in the second half, and eventually Garnacho scored his second, which was a deflected goal, but we'll take it. And the third one was another counter-attacking side. McTominay won the ball in midfield. Calvin Phillips, another mistake for him, and then Garnacho with a good finish. 3-0 actually flatters us because that wasn't a dominant victory, but in a way we were compact. We knew that what we had to do. We got the first goal, then we were playing on the counter. Defensively, we were playing decently. I thought we dropped too deep because Maguire was playing, and with him, that's a problem. And if we play that deep, then more often than not, we will concede those kind of shots, even from distance, and that can lead to goals from deflection and so on. Onana was called upon a couple of times and made good saves, but he still doesn't convince me in terms of catching the ball, in terms of dominating his box. Overall, I thought that was a professional performance. We got the goal when we needed them, especially the first one before halftime and the second one after halftime. And we never had to exert too much of energy in pressing and everything because obviously we played on Thursday, so we weren't fresh, and you could see then. The biggest concern is the injury to Lisandro. I think he could be out for a few months now. It seemed like a ligament injury, knee ligament, and that's unfortunate for him. But overall, a good display, a professional display, but with the caveat that if West Ham took their chances in any team that we come up against in the upcoming matches, if they take their chances, then it could be a uphill task for us. But we still don't control the games. We don't control. When we are ahead, we keep on losing that lead, and it's important, like we did in this match, to keep calm when we go ahead. We don't need to go helter skelter. We need to keep the ball. That's the best form of defense, just to keep the ball well. And eventually, because they have to come and equalize, we will get our spaces and we will get a chances, and then we have to be clinical. Good job done by Manchester United. Player ratings, starting with Onana, didn't have much to do. Made a couple of good saves, especially before the first goal. They had the corner and they had like a deflected shot or header, and he made a good sharp save to his left. Overall, his distribution was all right, and he didn't have too many chances. Obviously, they had shots, but most of them were off target or from a distance, so he wasn't called upon too much. Then he kind of spectacular save apart from that one. So a decent display from Onana. Thiago Dalot was again bright. I thought he was one of our better attackers. His partnership with Garnacho looked more refined in this match, starting from the last match, and it seems like they are developing a kind of relationship. Obviously, inverts a lot, but even when he goes on the outside, he does have a good cross on him. Obviously, he was in the second half. He was taking a couple of pot shots at goal. I think he can get a little bit selfish in that, but obviously he scored a couple of goals, good goals, and he's got a good strike on him. So no worries about that. So I think he's gotten confidence after a string of good performances, so it should hold him in good stead going forward. Harry Maguire was overall decent, but he did make a couple of bad mistakes. One was the Emerson one, where he was the ball was pinched for him and he was sloppy on the ball, and they had a shot. The Emerson shot high and wide, but that was a mistake. Also, another ball over the top. Bowen got at the end of it, and he was touching his hamstring. Maybe there was some concern with that. But apart from those two errors, he was aggressive in the tackle. He wasn't left on his own, which is good. Obviously, I'd want Varane to still be the first choice, but Maguire has been doing decently as a second choice right centre back for United. Another great game from Martinez. Obviously, he got injured at the end, but he has brought so much calm and composure from the back line, and obviously he's the one who starts our build up from the back, and he's got a great head on his shoulders. Obviously, he lacks that kind of physical stature, but he's good at avoiding those kind of situations where he's hemmed in. That's a good, intelligent footballer for you. So another good display. Obviously, we don't know for how long he'll be out. I assume, and I'm afraid that it could be for a few months. But let's wait and see. And inshallah, he's back before we know it. Luke Shaw had a better performance in this match. I thought he was more composed in defending. Obviously, he had Kudus and Johnson up against him. Johnson got the better of him a couple of times, but he kept Kudus quiet, especially in the second half. Attacking wise, he was bombing forward as well. So better display. I just hope that he keeps fit now and regains his full fitness and just is able to, because we are only playing one match a week. He's able to continue with his form and get better and provide us more stability and that kind of thrust from the left hand side. His partnership with Rashford is also flourishing now. So it's important that he keeps fit and just stay on this upward curve of performance. Casemiro was also good. I thought that apart from a couple of mistakes where he again goes to ground easily, he was decent. His passing was good. Obviously, he was involved in the first goal. His pressing and his anticipation was great, and that's what we need in midfield. With Kobe Menu, there seems to be a balance because Kobe Menu is more athletically gifted, so he can cover for him slightly, and that seems to be a good partnership right now. Obviously, there's Bruno, but he hardly ever provides any kind of safety defensively. But I thought Casemiro was better in this match as compared to last match, and inshallah, long may it continue. Kobe Mano was also good. I thought in possession he was good, but defensively he was better. I think he kept his shape well. His positional awareness, leaps and bounds ahead of McTominay, and he provides the kind of stability and the kind of calmness in midfield that McTominay doesn't. So another good performance from him. And Garnacho was probably the man of the match. Apart from the goals, he was always trying. Obviously, he's very passionate and aggressive in his style of play. He always runs at the defender. Obviously, I still think that he lacks polish, and before the goal, he wasn't really delivering in terms of the final ball, but he keeps on trying. That's a good thing about him. He got his rewards in the end by the two goals, and obviously one on his left and another on his right. And that's good to see because we know that Rashford wants to play on the left. If Garnacho can provide the kind of versatility to his game, then he gets into this team over Anthony all day long, and he's certainly providing goals, which is important because we don't have a prolific goal scorer. But him, Hojlund, and Menu seems to be developing a kind of a triad. His partnership with Dalo is also improving, I thought, and a good performance from Garnacho. Bruno Fernandes was, I'd say, he was better in terms of keeping possession. He wasn't taking too many risks. He had a couple of good shots that the keeper saved, Areola, and apart from that, he wasn't involved too much, but he kept his discipline more or less, and it's something that we haven't seen from Bruno. So, as a captain, he needs to be more calm on the ball and off the ball as well. Certainly, a better performance that we usually see from Bruno. Marcus Rashford also was bright. He wasn't very clinical in the final third, and still lacks football intelligence and sharpness in terms of his what he wants to do in the final third, and he sometimes he gets this mind fog and he loses his train of thought. But it's important that he keeps on playing in the left hand side position because that's his favorite position. He has gotten few goals recently, so his confidence should be up, and obviously winning breeds more confidence, so it should help him as well. Obviously, Hojlund scoring and Garnacho scoring eases pressure on him to get the goals always, like last season. But so it should hold him in good stead. So a decent performance from Rashford. Rasmus Hojlund was bright. I thought that his goal was exceptional. The way he took the ball in his stride, made the dummy, the fake shot, and then confident enough to take the shot on his right and rifle it in the bottom corner. So great goal. Overall, his hold up play was good. He was drawing fouls, and which is good. But I like to see him drive more in terms of behind the back line and receive the ball on the run. I think he can do that easily. But certainly he's gotten confidence, and you can see the way he's playing. He's smiling, and with Garnacho, Mainu, and Rashford and Dalo, there seems to be a growth in terms of relations on the pitch, which is psychologically very important. As a team, you need to have those partnerships and relationships so that you can be confident in what the other is imagining, and then you can be on the same wavelength and produce those kind of goals and and displays. So a good performance from Hojlund. Coming to substitution, obviously McTominay came on in the second half. Obviously he was involved in the third goal. He was decent. He was good at pressing and winning the ball back. He's always a threat in the box, and I don't have many complaints with him in terms of being out of position. But obviously, he's not a starter. So as a substitute, he can provide us something, especially a goal threat, and he provided that assist. So a decent outing from McTominay. Varane came on in for Martinez, who got injured. Composed, a leader. That's what I can say. He led from the front. Obviously, with him in the defense, we can play with that much higher of a back line. But with Maguire, there is redundancy there. But he was decent on the ball. Defensively, he was accomplished, and obviously we got a clean sheet, so we can't have too many complaints with the defenders. Victor Lindelof came on late for Luke Shaw, playing on the left against KUDUS, so didn't commit any mistakes. Was neat on the ball. Didn't have too much to fight against because they weren't that threatening West Ham, and they were devoid of ideas. The only thing they had was lumping the ball into the box, and he dealt with it appreciably. So a good performance from Lindelof. Anthony came on late. Didn't have too much to do. Didn't get too much of the ball, so there's not much to rate him on. No mistakes, nothing out of ordinary that he did or didn't do that I can critique him on. He could have gotten a goal. I thought that they were stretched at the back, so if he was like full of confidence, then he could have like be more involved in those counterattacks and get that goal that he probably needs. Obviously, he has lost his place in the starting lineup, and Garnacho seems to be firing on all cylinders. So he needs to be patient and just wait and try to get some goals and assists when he comes on as a substitute in these matches. Alhamdulillah, good week for Manchester United. Two wins back to back against good side, decent sides. Both Wolves away and West Ham at home. West Ham do travel well. Are good victories, different victories, but certainly we can see some progress. Obviously, loss of Martinez could be crucial. I shudder at the thought of losing him for another few months because he does bring that kind of quality on the ball. And really, there is no one in the team that can replace him. So that'll be a loss. But overall, I think we have made some progress, and it's important that the forwards are getting goals because that has been anathema for last 18 months. We haven't been scoring that many goals. Ashford got the goal last season, but this season with Hojlund scoring, he's got 10 goals in all competitions now. Another barrier that he has overcome mentally, especially with that price tag and everything. Garnacho is scoring. He's an academic product. Obviously, performances of Meno is something that everybody can be proud of, and at the club everybody can be proud of. It does breed confidence, and shows that even young players are ready at United to take the onus of themselves and deliver in the toughest matches and toughest situations. So a good week, and hopefully and inshallah we can now build on this. The next match will be crucial because we travel to Aston Villa. They're in the fourth position, and if we can get a victory there, it's important that we don't lose. But if we can get a victory, inshallah, we do get a victory, then there is still a possibility that we can be back in the contention for top four. Obviously, Tottenham are there as well, but we have to target that match. And if we can get a victory, get a plan together and then execute it wisely and just get that victory at Villa Park, and we may still have a shout at the top four position and the Champions League qualification for the next year. Inshallah, we can bring you another episode of our FC Career Mode this week before the Red Prep show for the Aston Villa game. Please join us for that. Until then, take care, do good, pray for Palestinians, all the oppressed people all across the globe. Assalamu alaikum.